But I think before that we surely will be having the national anthems, and by the look of the two sets of players, all they want to do is to get on with the action. And I'm sure that goes for you at home, and I can assure you it goes for me as well. So the anthems. From that Milan lineup, but sadly Rudhulit is unfit, will not be playing. They hope, though, that he may play tomorrow. Both sides just wanting to stretch their muscles and get underway again. As our first job is to take a check on the two teams, starting first with Bayern Munich. Having lost two key players, Bremer and Matteos, to Italy, Mark Hughes, of course, has returned to Manchester United. Their goalkeeper, Jean-Marie Pfaff, reportedly has gone to Spain. But this is a young side that their manager, Jupp Heynckes, calls a hungry side. And two great signings on view today, Olaf Thon and Johnny Ekström, the brilliant Swedish striker. Milan, meanwhile, without Rudhulit, as I've said, he's got a knee injury. He might well play tomorrow. Also out are internationals Maldini and Ancelotti, also injured. But Marco van Basten's there. The Italians call him the best centre-forward in the world. And his Dutch teammate from the winning European Championship side, Frank Rijkaard, he'll have plenty to say in midfield as well. There's Van Basten, the man who scored a hat-trick against England in Germany this summer. A really exciting young Dutchman, still only 23. He's never played at Wembley before. And Johnny Ekström, well, if Van Basten was the scourge of England in West Germany this summer, then Ekström could well become the scourge of England when he comes back to Wembley in October to play for Sweden in a World Cup qualifier. Familiar face, referee Neil Midgley from Salford in Lancashire. Two excellent linesmen, Brian Hill from Kettering and Keith Hackett from Sheffield. Keith Hackett, one of our referees in the European Championship, of course. As we get underway, Milan attacking the goal to our left. Bayern Munich, probably just that little more match hardened than the Italians. The Germans, 2 matches into their league season, they've won one of them 3-0 and drawn the other one, and last week had an astonishing 11-2 victory over the team Blau-Weiß of Berlin in the West German Cup, when little Olaf Thon, who was on the ball just a moment ago there, scored 5 of them. East German, came across to play in the West. Thon giving it to Augenthaler, the captain. Simple work here, Wohlfahrt across the face of the Milan goal. Nachbai won't reach it, it'll be throw to the Italians. Bit of organised chaos going on here at the moment, with the loudspeaker still in the process of telling people who's on the field of play. Interesting experience also, about 3/4 of an hour down in the tunnel when I was down there, because both managers were talking about playing in red, because Bayern had come with red, and AC Milan, as you can see, already in a red and black strip. I asked Juppeinkes whether they'd got any other strip, and he said, we've come in white. I said, I think the television audience would probably appreciate you playing in white. That's what we'll do, he said. So it's been fairly relaxed. 10 there, Evani. This is Verdes, and the number 8, Rijkaard, to Van Basten on the far side. There's Marco Van Basten. Rijkaard. The Italians still to start their season. They played 4 friendly games. Virit comes to him again, and a bit of trouble here on the edge of the box for the West Germans. A player down injured, the shot by Rijkaard, well wide. And a goal kick. Rijkaard, who was one of the outstanding successes for Holland in the European Championships. Ian St. John?
I thought he was outstanding, Brian, right enough. He played at the back, but didn't he? He played centre-back, and it's interesting to see him playing in midfield here. It just showed you what a versatile young man he is.
Grahammer, I think, is the man injured. 24-year-old defender. They've signed only this summer from Nuremberg, an under-21 international. The winners play the losers of the first game, the losers play the winners. So in other words, Arsenal will be looking to play the losers of this game in another double-header tomorrow. And this was the injury when Bayern looked in a little bit of disorder in their own penalty area. Amazing record for this team in white. The last 10 seasons they've been the West German champions 5 times, and in those 10 seasons they've never finished lower than 4th. Last season they were 2nd. Milan, of course, the current champions of Italy, the 11th time they've taken that title. Aumann then with the goal kick. Augenthaler. Nachbai.
Fellas, good on you. Don't want to drop anything, that's all.
Extra. Colombo playing a good ball there for Rijkaard. Donadoni, remember him from the European Championships. Evani. And Colombo unable to reach it. And it's another goal kick to Bayern Munich. £60,000 for the winner of this little tournament, which is an innovation here in Britain, but it's very much part and parcel of the build-up to a season on the continent. 4 sides, 2 double-headers over 2 days. Get a lot of good match practice in that time. Rijkaard just sticking out the boot. Augenthaler. Good solid defender over a number of seasons for Bayern, but he's given it away here, and here's Van Basten. Donadoni along one side of him, and Van Basten shooting wide of Alman in the Bayern goal, but giving a little glimpse of what he can do. Such pace and power about him, long rangy stride, never afraid to have a pop at goal. Quite a marked difference in the pace from the first game, Ian.
Yes, there's no, you know, that sense of urgency is not quite there, Brian. But I mean, they may feel their way into the game here. I find it strange to play 2 games in 2 days. I think it's very demanding on the players, and maybe they're thinking, well, we'll take it easy in this one, hoping to save our legs for tomorrow. The Tottenham Arsenal players didn't. They went flat out.
Ivani playing it through to Van Basten. There's Olaf Thun with a little back heel. Ivani again. Rijkaard. Colombo again making the break on the far side for AC Milan. And a corner given. It's Angelo Colombo, only in his second season with Milan. He's incidentally one of the players in the Italian Olympic team that'll be going to Seoul. Tassotti. And Rijkaard getting in, almost embarrassing Flügler. But it's a goal kick. Rijkaard, in fact, like Gullit and Van Basten, just having 3 weeks break between the end of the European Championships and starting training again. So Rijkaard and Van Basten went away on holiday with their families together. Graham only worse for the injury a moment or two ago. And a free kick to AC Milan. It's Roberto Mussi who was feeling the pain there. Virdis behind this, the number 11. Also Ivani, number 10. Donadoni is the man who will make the little touch. Reputation as a goal scorer is Virdis, the number 11, over a number of seasons in the Italian league. Milan's top scorer last season with 11. But Donadoni not yet ready to release the ball. Ivani. Munich then. Left by, given away again. Van Basten. Donadoni. Van Basten to Rijkaard. Donadoni again. Good play here by Milan, some delightful interpassing by them, and some good play there by Rijkaard, putting the ball inside for Mussi. But some really pleasant play there, Ian.
Much appreciated by the crowd here at Wembley, Brian. Lovely one-touch football. That's what we want to see from teams of this quality.
A super ball played.
Lovely ball by Rijkaard inside the fullback. Actually, should have done better with that one, shouldn't he?
Touch there by Ekstrom. And Borfart not being able to force his way through. Tassotti cleverly getting the ball back to his goalkeeper, Gatti. And look, right at the back there in the business again is Frankie Rijkaard. Baresi, Rijkaard. Baresi, haven't really mentioned him, and he was a great success for the Italians in the European Championships as a sweeper. Virdis, they're playing some delightful stuff now, the Italians, but that time Van Basten was caught offside. Keith Hackett. Kegel. Flügler. Kegel. Tone. Donadoni to Rijkaard. Colombo couldn't quite reach it. Baresi getting in there, making sure in the first place that Wolfart can't get to it, and that in the end Costa Curta, the number 5, can get it back to his goalkeeper Gali. Here's Baresi again. Real good old pro Baresi. Good strong tackler, good football brain about him. And, it may be a fairly unspectacular role that he plays right at the back there, but you can be sure over the whole of last season his contribution to Italy, to Milan winning the championship would have been considerable. Here he is on the ball again now. Oh, well, that's Murphy's law, isn't it? As soon as you say something like that. Rijkaard. Offside given against Olaf Thun. Bayern here, a special concession from the German FA. They should, in fact, at this very moment be playing Stuttgart in the Bundesliga. And there's a good inducement for them to come. I gather the appearance money is something like £100,000. There's £60,000 for the winning side, £30,000 for the side that finishes second. Beat Eintracht 3-0, as I told you, a 2-2 draw. That was away to Karlsruhe, and then that astonishing 11-2 victory in the cup against Blau-Weiß of Berlin. So free kick there, taken by Olaf Thun. Hammer. His header goes straight, though, to Virdis. Colombo on the far side. Van Basten not getting a sniff of that one. Wolfart's on the run, but Gali gets there first. Giovanni Gali, born within striking distance of the Tower of Pisa, played for Fiorentina in Florence before coming to AC Milan. Well, here's Baresi with the clearance. Basten. What a beautiful struck ball there. Absolutely inch perfect there for Ivani, and hit with the outside of his boots. Ivani's shots, and the keeper well behind that. There couldn't well have been a nasty bounce in that well-worn penalty area, but he was covering it well. Raymond Aumann. Colombo. Kegel. Delightful little player. Played a couple of times for the West German national side in 1985. But never really has made the big breakthrough since then. Saw him in Mexico in a pre-World Cup thing in 1985. Played against England then and played really well. Kegel just taking that free kick. Reuter's shot charged down. And Basten. Back to Gali. Tassotti. Baresi. Coming up to a quarter of an hour of the game gone in this Wembley International Trophy match between AC Milan in the red and black stripes, Bayern Munich in the white shirts, and the score 0-0. Hans Flügler with the throw. So with that first quarter of an hour out of the way, 0-0 the score. Rijkaard. He's the third of the overseas players that Milan are allowed this season. All them Dutchmen, 3 per club, of course, in Italy at the moment. Gullit and Van Basten, the other 2. Bovaerts chases on, and Toon will get there first. He's getting some support as well from Reuter. And behind, and a good clearance it was too by Costa Curta. As Reuter came in, he's another newcomer in the Bayern side this season from Nuremberg. He and Grahammer between them cost £2 million.
Good ball from Toon here with outside of the right foot, Brian. Almost found his mate at the near post, but they can do that, can't they? Hit it off their front foot.
Here comes a corner. It was Colombo who got it away. Nakvai now for Bayern Munich. Rijkaard's header away. Extra. Offside flag. Orsi. Baresi. Costa Curta. Rijkaard. There's Rijkaard again. Baresi. Orsi. Slow and deliberate build-up, and falling in the end for extra. His little ball finding Bovaerts, and that should be Galli's ball. And some elbowing going on there by Baresi on the Bayern number 9, Roland Bovaert. And a shake of the head by Baresi, saying, well, that's the way I run, ref. But, I don't think Neil Mitchell is fooled by that. It'll be a free kick to Bayern Munich.
He didn't really need to do it, Brian, because the goalkeeper was out covering his back there. But as you say, he got the old elbows up.
Neil Midgley might struggle to get him back 10 yards, but he's having a go. Olaf Toon behind this one, Nakvai also, and the number 5, Algenthaler, captain. It's Algenthaler's shot. Wasn't too far off either. And has been at Bayern Munich for 13 seasons, club captain. It was pretty close. Flugler's jump, won by Bovaerts. Play on, says real referee Neil Midgley. Played in towards Ekstrom, but too far ahead of him.
The Milan boys are pushing right up, aren't they? When they clear the lines, they push right up, and they're playing the Germans offside at the moment.
Especially when you think the number 11, Pietro Paolo Virdis for AC Milan, was their top scorer with 11 goals in the season when they won the championship.
Goodness me, no wonder he's got grey hair.
What it also means, I think Ian Rush got 7, didn't he, for Juventus last season? I mean, that puts that into perspective a little bit. When people were saying what a bad season Ian Rush had, the top scorer for the champions gets only 11. That's how tough goal getting is in the Italian First Division.
That's very true.
In the meantime, it's Kögel. Flugler. Bad ball there, given away to Evani. Virdis up ahead, Van Basten away on the right, Colombo up alongside him as well. This is Van Basten. Evani. Mr. Curta to Rijkaard. Free kick to AC Milan. won the Italian Championship by 3 points from Naples and Diego Maradona. The cheers are from Arsenal fans as the Arsenal players, having changed, are coming walking around the perimeter. I must say the Arsenal supporters were absolutely delighted with the form of their side today, and it really was most impressive. So their job done, they'll now see how the other teams measure up. So much hard running and a lot of shouting from the fans in that last game. This is sedate by comparison. Free kick. I'm sure a lot of you at home are probably saying, well, if it was such a good game, why weren't you showing us it live? I have to say that we weren't allowed to under a contract, and you can understand that it would have seriously affected the gate here, but we should be showing you some highlights later on in this programme, we hope, and also tomorrow morning. Well worth watching too. Certainly a different sort of game, but let's hope this one measures up to the one that went before it. Baresi shadows the ball back to Giovanni Galli. Alessandro Costacurta to Rijkaard, to Mussi, Colombo. Halfway through the first half now, still 0-0 here at Wembley between AC Milan and Bayern Munich. By showed rather all of that to Donadoni, got away with it. Rijkaard. Tassotti, captain of the Olympic team for Seoul. Costacurta. Cavani. Baresi. Colombo. Rijkaard. Trying to get a man from the back to make the well-timed run, but Colombo wasn't able to manage it then, and the ball again with Bayern Munich in the white shirts, and Nachtvai, the man in possession. Hammer. Alcantara. Alcantara. Put out by Colombo, and a throw. They changed the ball in the first game, they're now changing the ball in the second game. Baresi. Costacurta. Baresi. Here it is. Beaten away by Grahama. The break is on for Ekstrom. The keeper's going for him and judged it perfectly. A few British players have played for AC Milan, of course, over the years. An old chum of yours, way back in the 1960s, Jimmy Greaves, had actually a very highly successful, albeit short time there, scored quite a number of goals.
I think he scored 9 goals in 11 games.
Something like that.
And when you think about the European Cup the following year.
That's right. Donadoni playing it in. And more recently, of course, Ray Wilkins, Mark Hateley, and Luther Blissett, who's got a testimonial game, Luther, on Tuesday night. Watford against Luton.
I thought going to Milan was his testimony.
I think I'm only saying he's the record goal scorer for Watford. I hope the Watford fans turn up in force for Luther on Tuesday. This is Raymond Alman with the clearance for Bayern Munich. Ekstrom with a header. Tassotti. Rijkaard. Flicked with the outside of the boot. Trying to put Virdis in. And not far from being an own goal by Grahammer. Again, Rijkaard at the heart of that move of AC Milan's. Flicked on well. And the defender just clearing the crossbar. Corner then to be taken by Donadoni. Played in all 4 European Championship games in Germany for Italy, and here he is again, number 7, Donadoni. It's his cross, Nakfai getting it away, touched in once more. Again, Nakfai away. Baresi. Chance maybe for the Germans to get a break here, though the red and black shirts have come back in force quickly. Whistle's gone, a free kick to Bayern Munich.
Olaf Thon tried to play that, Brian, and go himself there, which was a great idea. If I hadn't hit an Italian player, he was clean through.
This is Kürgel.
Disappointed with little Kürgel because I do think he's a very good player. I saw him one night up at Goodison Park playing against Everton, and he was outstanding. And I thought, well, here you are, they've unearthed another tremendous player, the Germans, but he seems to have gone back in the betting, hasn't he, in the last 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, he just had those 2 games in 1985. Scored a goal in the European Cup final for Bayern Munich a couple of seasons ago against Porto, which Bayern lost in the end. But as you say, he really hasn't quite made that final breakthrough. Well, here's Olaf trying to make a breakthrough of another sort. Lost the face of the goal. Ekstrom couldn't quite get a touch to it. There was a danger for the Italians that Costa Curta might get a touch. So there's Olaf Thon. He had a very good European Championship, signed in the summer from Schalke, who were relegated, and cost £1 million. Better spell here by Bayern Munich now. Good disciplined break forward by Baresi, led the whole of the Italian defence forward. And now there's a break on the other side for Virdis. Evani in the middle, Van Basten in the middle, Colombo's up as well. Virdis might want to go all on his own. Evani eventually putting it over the top. And a real opportunity wasted there by the Italians.
All sparked off by this offside tactic that they play, Brian, when they all charge forward. And then when they win the ball, of course, bang, that's them, you know, really catching the Germans out. He's a little bit unfortunate here, got the ball stuck under his feet. It was a half chance.
Kürgel. We'll see. Break on again for Van Basten. Virdis. Colombo saved. Oh, they didn't know where that was, but now they do. Real pinball stuff that. If you'd asked Raymond Alman where it was, I don't think he could have told you one for a second or two there. Colombo's cross in, it comes off the keeper, it bounces off one and then another, and finally back into the keeper's arms. Still 0-0 with just coming up to 30 minutes of this game gone. AC Milan in the red and black shirts, Bayern Munich in the white. Baresi now for Milan. Virdis. Rijkaard, the Dutchman. Mussi. Free kick to Milan. Roberto Musi. Kogel. Reuter. Tone. A left turn for Bayern Munich. Tassotti, Colombo, Costa Curta, Rijkaard. Lovely play by the Italians again. This time releasing Ivani. Might get the better of Alcantara. Virdis is there. Rijkaard also. Colombo on the far side. Strength at the back, and now suddenly so many of them springing forwards. It will be Bayern Munich who come away with it. Stopped by Musi and a goal kick. Just wonder what most of the fans here would be thinking. Ian, they've seen a real red-blooded English-type game between Spurs and Arsenal, full of good incident and a lot of powerful running, and this is a much more thoughtful game, and I wonder which of the two they prefer.
Well, I'm sure they prefer their own game simply because they've got an involvement, Brian. There's nothing worse, you know, if you're a football fan and watching two neutral teams playing, you know, having watched your own lads involved. And Tottenham and Arsenal fans would obviously have loved their own game better than this. But having said that, they will be appreciating the skill in this game, that's for sure.
There's plenty of that. Van Basten now taking it up, getting into his stride. Nakfai couldn't stop him. Virdis waiting in the middle. Colombo once again coming up hard from the midfield. Virdis looking to get the jump. Colombo looking to get it back to Ivani, number 10. Whipped in again for Virdis. Congratulations for the 31-year-old, who also goes to the Olympics in Seoul. A smile from the Milan manager Arrigo Sacchi on the bench.
Well, I must have been impressed with Virdis throughout the game so far. And look at that for a goal. No wonder he was the top goal scorer in Italy, Brian. Just turned and bang in the corner. Here's another angle. So he moved into the space and just turned and hit it. Lovely goal.
So Milan take the lead, 1-0. Alcantara. Rossi. Tassotti. Basten. Had a difficult season last season in the Italian league, did Marco Van Basten. He had a lot of trouble with both ankles and played only about 11 games, scored 3 goals. But in its way, that might well have been the foundation for all the energy and the verve that he showed for Holland in the European Championships. He wasn't a tired player come last June. Munich now trying to make amends, but an offside against Ekstrom.
I thought a double-footed tackle there. It's really dangerous. But Neil Midgley was on hand and obviously thought no.
Dolidoni. Sure, good work in the midfield for Milan. Ekstrom. Cavani. Rossi. Again, Virdis making the break, and he may have caught Munich out. No, the flag had stayed down. I think they were looking possibly for an offside. Wolfart. Flügler. to Bayern Munich. Hans Flügel will take it. He came on as a sub for one game for West Germany in the European Championships. Possessor of quite a good long throw, as you can see there. Ekstrom's head met it. Up goes Donadoni and Rijkaard. Falls for Nakvai. Rijkaard again. Augenthaler. Costa Curta. And back to goalkeeper Galli. Touch. About 8 minutes to the interval now. Another free kick to Bayern Munich. Turn to Flügler. Now Kögel.
That's the tackle that Rijkaard everybody knows him for in the European Championships. You know, that where he just slides that leg in there when you think that the forward's got past him and times it well. He is a marvellous defender.
Tecotti getting it away. Yes, you fancy the football fans in Milan are going to have quite a season with Gullit, Van Basten and Rijkaard playing, and then two ex-Bayern Munich players, ironically, have also gone to Milan, but to Inter Milan, Bremer and the West German skipper Matthäus. So that northern Italian city is going to have a good deal of football talent within its boundaries this coming season.
I must say, when you're talking about players and teams buying, AC Milan, with their 3 foreign players, have certainly bought well, haven't they?
Brilliantly. We'll see for AC Milan leading Bayern Munich by a goal to 0. Just joined us, the second match this of the Wembley International Trophy. First one was between Arsenal and Spurs. Highlights of that we hope later on. An astonishing victory for Arsenal. And a lovely ball there by Turn, but just a little too weighted. And Galli was able to get there. Viedis with a touch. Donadoni couldn't make it. Augenthaler now for Bayern Munich. Nakvai. Augenthaler. Rossi. Kögel. Played in once more for Olaf Thorn. So through to Bayern Munich. And another one. Turn with this one to Kögel. Just out of play again, so it'll be another throw to the West Germans. And it's with Flügler. Offside flag is up. Off there by Brian Hill.
It's a problem the Italians have set the Germans here. How do you break them down, Brian, with this offside trap? And, you know, they'll have to come up with some ideas in the second half. Thorn almost did it earlier on there when he tried to go himself. But they've got to come up with a few ideas of getting people in from the back, because they're caught every time they get up there.
Evani then for Milan. Costa Curta. Baresi. Baresi again. Seen it all and done it all. He's been in the Milan first team for 10 years, 25 caps for his country. Beardis winning some good balls in the air there, trying to feed Van Basten, who just caught the back of the Bayern defender. Nakbai. 4 minutes of the first half remaining. AC Milan still leading by 1-0. Scored by the number 11 Virdis. Offside flag is up. Been a little disappointed with Johnny Ekstrom actually so far this afternoon, Ian. The number 11 of Bayern Munich, the Swedish player that we are supposing we're going to have to fear when Sweden come here in the World Cup in October. He's not really shown a lot as yet.
No, he hasn't. Having said that, he's not really had much of the ball. You know, he's not had a good service. But I mean, I remember him playing with Gothenburg, and he looked a good player.
Indeed, scored a winning goal, in fact, for Sweden against England back in 1986 in Stockholm. Now, Frank Rijkaard. Just kept in play very skillfully, but then it flicks off the defender for a throw to AC Milan. Throw to Milan. And a goal kick. By Raymond Aumann. He's got a chance to prove himself now that Jean-Marie Pfaff has gone, reportedly to Las Palmas. There is a suggestion there might be a slight hiccup in that transfer with the very popular Belgian goalkeeper. Tassotti. Tassotti again. Rijkaard's touch. Van Basten with clear space ahead of him. Beardis in the middle. Evani too. Played it wide towards his fellow Dutchman Rijkaard. It was a poor one. He hadn't spotted the Bayern defender coming in. Lovely ball there played by Turn to Nakbai. Inch perfect there, some 35-40 yards of it. And there's another one, but unfortunately for Bayern Munich, Kogel is caught offside.
But the right idea again, Brian, as I say, to play diagonal balls. I think that's a good idea, and have somebody coming from an onside position. The Germans actually have worked the ball from one side of the field to the other quite well today, haven't they? You know, they hit a very good long ball and switched the play.
But they're behind. From a goal by Virdis after 32 minutes for AC Milan. Ekstrom, a little touch there for Turn. Ekstrom gets it back again. Wolfart's waiting in the middle. Tone is there. Oh, complete miss there. Oh, that was probably the best chance of the whole afternoon. And Olaf Tone, the £1 million man, West German international, made a complete hash of it.
Johnny Ekstrom very much involved in that. Brian, you were saying he's had a quiet afternoon, but he was involved there. Took the ball into the box. It was a lovely little roll back, wasn't it? And really, Thon just completely miskicked.
Basten. Kogel. Wolfart. Given away there to Donadoni. Into the path of Virdis. Unfortunately for the West Germans, Stefan Reuter is back for them. And there's his pass, not so fortunate this time, goes straight to Evani. Augenthaler. Crazy. Half-time whistle. And the only goal of the game coming from Pietro Paolo Virdis. 351 league games, 103 goals, and 5 in the last 5, incidentally, as Milan raced to the title last season. They were the really important ones, and one that brought him a great deal of pleasure here, that gives Milan the lead over Bayern Munich this afternoon. Thanks a lot, Jim. The Italians are making a substitution. Virdis, the goal scorer, has gone off, and in his place will be the number 14, Daniele Massaro. 6 caps to his credit, so he's a fair player. Used to be with the team in Florence, Fiorentina. As we start the second half, then AC Milan leading by 1-0. They are in the striped shirts. They'll be attacking the goal to our right. There's a little more urgency and pace about this second half. And the ball is Grahammer, one of the newcomers to the Bayern side. 6 new players in the club in a close season. And just as he found at the start of the first half, he takes a knock, shakes his head philosophically. There'll be a few more of those over the coming months, you can be sure of that. For Aldwell and Grahammer goes on his way. It's Nachwey on the far side. Poor touch. Up goes Baresi. Baresi with the free kick. Costa Curta. Franco Baresi. Rijkaard. Donadoni. Evani. Van Basten's made a break. Massaro, the substitute, trying to get it through to Rijkaard. Eventually gets it to Donadoni. Comes to Musi. Colombo playing it in. And although the Italians have yet to start their season, they play just 4 friendly games in northern Italy. They, in fact, look the harder and sharper of the 2 sides at the moment against a Bayern side that have already started their league programme. Extra for Bayern Munich. Baresi reading it so well, and here he is again. Rijkaard. Again for Massaro. Or rather, this is Evani. Now Massaro. Free kick to Milan. And Rijkaard will take it. Getting it to Colombo on this side. It'll be Hans Flügler, though, for Bayern Munich. Kögel could be running into trouble here. Indeed he has. Massaro takes it up for AC Milan. No power in that shot, and quite easy for Raymond Alba. Kögel. Pitch in a very poor state, particularly down on this side, as you can see, after the Michael Jackson concerts and the American football game as well. And of course the wettest July in 52 years didn't help. But for all that, the groundsman's done a tremendous job. It's a good flat pitch at any rate, getting a little bit cut up. Rijkaard. Colombo. Goes Argentala with the header for Bayern Munich. Sotti's header. And Nachwey. Again, the Italians come out on the break, win the ball, send Van Basten on his way. It was a good disciplined break from the back again. Marco Van Basten with a shot. And not the world's best centre-forward with an effort like that.
He had good support coming up alongside him, Brian. I think had he just held on a second or two, he would have got support on either side. Here we can have a look at it here. You can see the players coming up to assist. And all he should have done was move to his left a little bit and then somebody send the player in on the right-hand side.
Alcantara, Donadoni. It's a very efficient, if not spectacular job in the midfield there for Milan, just as he does for Italy. And you can be sure he's going to be one of the stars when Italy hosts the World Cup in 1990, this number 7. Roberto Donadoni. It's Nakvi on the ball for Bayern Munich. Break from deep, finding his captain Alcantara. And Colombo back to Gareth. Baresi. Rijkaard, Baresi. Is on. Van Basten got support from Colombo and from Mazzaro. The substitute has come in as well. Who's he going to find? The German boot. And it's Kirk. Donadoni battling. Turned well there. Van Basten now on his way again. But fouled by Nakvi. Basten behind this. I would have thought the German defenders everywhere have seen enough of Van Basten for one season. It was his spectacular winning goal right at the end, of course, in the Holland-West Germany game, the semi-final that took Holland into the final. Kogel. Alcantara. Torren. The skills there by Evani. And a long ball from Massaro, the substitute, to chase. Just Van Basten waiting in the middle. Rijkaard's coming up quickly into the path of Frank Rijkaard, but well read by Alcantara. Two good experienced players at the heart of both defences here. Baresi for Milan and Alcantara for Bayern. Here's Baresi, both the skippers. Van Basten, a little dummy there. Rossi. Van Basten. Clear of one challenge, puts it into Rijkaard's path. It's now with Musi. Colombo's waiting at the far side. Massaro too. And Nakvi judging it well for Bayern Munich. The Italians still leading by 1-0. Rijkaard. Baresi. Well, you haven't got much to say for yourself in the second half.
It's gone rather quiet, Brian, yes. I think the public, you know, I mean, we're not geared to watching 2 games of football in one afternoon, and you know, especially after their own teams were playing early on, and they've gone very quiet themselves because they may have shouted themselves out of it in the first match, and then to sit through another game, you know, they just sort of watching the game in silence.
It's a game really that produces clapping rather than shouting, actually, isn't it?
That's correct. The odd sporadic hand clapping when something nice happens.
But it'll be a different proposition tomorrow, of course, when Spurs and Arsenal play in separate matches. So both the double-header tomorrow, Arsenal in one, Spurs in the other. And a chance really to measure British standards against the best in Europe. Now we're denied the opportunity of playing in European club football. Kogel now for Bayern Munich in the white shirts. Augenthaler. Bayern try to set something up on the far side through Flick. And a goal. Galley with the goal kick. He's played 19 times for his country as Giovanni Galli. He took over from Dino Zoff, then lost his place to Walter Zenga, of course, the present Italian goalkeeper. Rossi for AC Milan. Outskilling Kogel. Number 4, Colombo. To Van Basten. Colombo again, some good play by Van Basten. Ton. Kogel. Augenthaler. McFly on the far side, the skipper finding him with an excellent ball. I don't think he really expected the return. He was caught on his heels a little bit. And Massaro on the break now for AC Milan. Van Basten very active up ahead of him. Rijkaard coming up quickly as well. And so too is Colombo. Donadoni. And easy for the keeper. Donadoni. And Tossotti back to his goal. Zara to Van Basten. Trying to do something on the turn. Pick up Evani. Kogel. Turn. And Colombo back to his keeper. Reminding you that the winners of the first game play the losers of the second and vice versa in the doubleheader tomorrow. On the far side to McFly, and the flag is up. Down for nothing. Good effort by Flick, but the flag had long since gone up from Keith Hackett.
The racy sparks off the offside tactic, Brian, and they're so very, very good at it. As soon as the Germans come within striking range, and they just move out very quickly and catch them all offside.
What's that on one shouted command from the skipper Baresi?
Well, yeah, that's right. Baresi will come and shout, and they'll all go to the ball. And they do it. Remember how the Dutch used to do it way back in the 70s when they had such a very good side. They do the same thing. And if you get the ball, then of course everybody's charging forward, which means you're then on the counter attack.
Well, there's the key to it all. Franco Baresi. Ekstrom, no support.
Ball falls easily for Baresi and gives it away to Tone. Might be something on here for the Germans. Trying just a little too much, and Donadoni will get it away. And now suddenly one man over. The German defence hold their hands up hoping for an offside, but it was never offside. In the end it comes to nothing, and the clearance will be an easy one for Reuter. And Bayern wishing to make a substitution. And take off numbers 10 and 11. Stone and Ekstrom. Surprise. Eck is one of the players coming on. So 2 substitutions been made. And it is 2 from 5. So Wegmann and Eck. Wegmann's a striker. Well, here's a great chance from Mazzaro, the substitute. Can he get round Galli? Or rather around Reuter, around the Alman, the goalkeeper, and puts it behind. The Germans furious, though, with the linesman for not having put a flag up for offside.
They've been having to go at the linesman the last couple of times, and really, you know, Milan have not been offside, but blatantly onside, and they certainly were again there. And really, Mazzaro should really have knocked the ball past the goalkeeper when he picked it up first of all.
Donadoni. Ivani. Baston on the far side gets the knockdown, but pushes down on the defender as he gets up himself. A free kick to Bayern Munich. So Jürgen Wegmann and Armin Eck are the 2 substitutes on. Wegmann is a forward in his 2nd season with Bayern Munich. In a situation where they're looking for an equalising goal now. AC Milan leading 1-0. Baresi. Tassotti. Still just under half an hour to go. Tassotti, the big central defender, trying to get Mussi on his way. Alventana doing his best to prevent him, and it goes behind for the goal kick. Maybe it was a free kick, in fact, shoved by Mussi on the West German defender. Eck to Nachfei. Flügler. Reuter to Nachfei. Found Ivani well there, but Baresi was always going to be the barrier. Reuter again. Lovely crossfield ball picking out Kürgel, but then Kürgel loses it to Mussi. Donadoni. Number 13, Jürgen Wegmann. Van Basten. Lovely turn. Delightful skills there by Van Basten. Donadoni. Flag is up again for an offside. Back five. Eck. To Stefan Reuter. Nachfei. Wegmann. And again, Baresi stopping him. Mazzaro to Rijkaard, who's had a quiet little spell, but now finds Van Basten. And the flag flag up against Colombo. Alcantara. It's Wolferts for Bayern Munich. Arminek. Alcantara. Whether Wegman will get there. Look who's there first, though, again for AC Milan. Skipper Baresi. To Nakvai. To Reuter. This is Flick. To Nakvai. Hammer. Kegel. Foul on him by the number 2, Tassotti, and a free kick to Bayern Munich. Kegel with the free kick for Bayern. Flugler gone up to no avail. Mr. Massaro, the substitute for AC Milan. Ivani, nice little touch there for Donadoni, and now for Rijkaard. A delightful ball by Rijkaard. Poorly played, though, by Ivani.
I was just about to comment, Brian, about both sides, that the control of the ball, when the ball gets played to them, is first class. You know, there's been a lot of balls in the last sort of 10 minutes or so that have arrived very firmly or very awkwardly, and their control is excellent.
Not easy. It's Flick's header for Bayern Munich. On long and high by Grahammer. Donadoni. Tassotti to right. It's a free kick, surely. Yep. As much as a foul as an assault on Rijkaard there, but here he is again, none the worse for it. Putting the ball forward to palpably offside Marco van Basten. Halfway through the second half, the pace really hasn't picked up. It does appear to be a very long afternoon, I must say. AC Milan leading by a goal to 0. Kegel. Well, that needed just the merest touch for Bayern Munich to be on level terms. After some great work there by little Ludwig Kegel. Here he is, Ian.
Well, the referee Midgley seems to think it hit a German player there. And you've got to say, what a chance that was. You know, you're talking about a yard from goal. It was a marvellous cutback. Lovely little trick he did there, the step over, which, funny enough, you know, I coach kids in the summer. And that's one of the tricks that we coach them. And you can go by defenders if you become proficient at it. It's a marvellous little trick.
Nakvai for Bayern. Eck. Flugler. Flick.
Kürgel. This is Reuter. Played wide for Nachwey. Coming into a little bit more now, Bayern Munich. Just that little bit further ahead with their training and their season, and as we get to the latter stages of this game, it could well be that their condition is just a little better than the Italians.
Well, that we shall find out, Brian, because it's normally around this time, you know, the last 20 minutes of a game in pre-season, where the old legs start to go if you've not had the match practice. And if the Germans are into it and have had 2 games plus a cup game, you know, that's 3 competitive matches, and then they should be just that little bit ahead of the Italians in fitness.
Knowing how thorough they are, they'll have had a good pre-season before they got into that league program as well. So they'll have a very, very short break indeed between the end of the European Championships and the start of their new season. And the centre is the AC Milan manager, Arrigo Sacchi. Interesting character because he never played professional football. And in his first season as Milan manager, whoops, he's won the championship.
There's a nice piece in the programme today here at Wembley talking about the manager, when it said that he was such a bad player they asked him to take part in coaching because he couldn't find a place for him in the team.
Now Kürgel. They look towards the referee to see if it might be a penalty, but he was probably outside the penalty area in any case where the first contact was made. But I think he's given the corner to Bayern Munich. Kürgel will take it. Augenthaler's right up there. So too is Wegmann, who might be a man to watch in this situation. Shot on the turn was by Augenthaler, and there was no great danger there for the Italians, and it's a goal kick.
I like the size of this goalkeeper, Gally. He really is a big lad, isn't he? The Italians always seem to have good goalkeepers, Brian, don't they? There's a trait with them over the years. They've had very good keepers.
Yeah, Singer, their current goalkeeper, is something like 6'2", 6'3", isn't he? This man played 19 times for his country. He's 30 years old now, Gally, so he's probably coming towards the end of his career a bit. Although, of course, goalkeepers go on and on, it seems, these days.
Well, I mean, that's the one position. You know, we look at our own Peter Shilton here in England, and Ray Clemens played to a very good age. Pat Jennings, of course, played to 40.
And, of course, Dino Zoff of Italy played in a World Cup final at 40.
That's correct. Do you think they've got an easy position? Actually, they work harder than anybody on the football field, and at training, goalkeepers work harder than anybody.
Donadoni now. Ivani. Costa Curta. Was possibly a little handball there, was it, by the number 14 Massaro, as he tried to get in there around behind Augenthaler. It's a free kick to Bayern Munich. Inside the last 20 minutes, and Milan still leading by 1-0. The blonde Nachwey to number 4, Grahammer. This is Flugel. Augenthaler. Given away to Colombo. Nope. Got it back again. Kürgel. Shirt pulling going on there, but the number 2, Tassotti, ball into touch. It came off a Bayern defender. Apparently, yes, it's a throw to the West Germans, to Italians, and it's Colombo with it. And Baston. Donadoni's made a breakaway down the left for him. Right through the middle is Rijkaard. Can this be number 2? No. Poor finish from an excellent player after he'd been put through brilliantly.
It was a delightful ball, wasn't it, by Van Basten? Beautifully fighting over the top. And Rijkaard, He invited to hit the target and just couldn't do it.
I certainly get the impression that Bayern might be coming now more and more into this game as their fitness begins to tell, and remembering, of course, if it finishes level, there's no such thing as a draw in this tournament. We shall then be facing a sudden death penalty competition. Free kick to Bayern. Norbert Nachwey with it. Flugler gone up for this one. Kurgel getting in as well. And some good keeping by Gali, supported by Musi. But a corner to Bayern. Coming to the last quarter of an hour of the game. Milan leading by 1-0. Reuter thought about a shot. The bounce was a little bit awkward. He finds Nachwey. And they come thundering out again. Look at that Milan defence. What a great picture that was. And indeed it works. They call him offside.
That was tremendous.
That was a lovely picture, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they ran 40 yards to try and get the ball. I mean, they were after the ball, Brian, because had they got it, then it was a 10-man charge on goal.
Musi. Goes Flugler. Now Flick. Number 14, Eck. Sotte's not letting him get clear, but Flugler now trying to spread it wide to the far side to his fellow fullback Nachwey. Costa Curta gets it back to Gali. Donadoni. Rijkaard. Donadoni. Milan leading 1-0. Just joined us. This Wembley tournament against Bayern Munich. Ivani. There's a handball, free kick. Nachwey. Eck. Now by Colombo, and a free kick to Bayern Munich. Baresi there when he was needed yet again. If you had to pick a man of a disappointing match, I suppose Franco Baresi would probably fit the bill, wouldn't he?
He's not put a foot wrong all afternoon. He's been magnificent. Although I must say I've been impressed with Van Basten, some of the things that he has done.
Yes.
And Augenthaler for the Germans has been immaculate.
Yes, if you look hard enough, and I think on this particular afternoon you do have to look pretty hard. There are always pluses to be found, aren't there?
Oh, certainly. You know, some of the things that Van Basten has done. You know, when he's got in tight situations and he can turn away from people, he create his own space, and he's got this big long leg where he can flick the ball over people's heads. I mean, he'll, without really breaking into a sweat this afternoon, I've been impressed with him.
Another substitution being made by the Italians. They're taking off their number 10, Ivani, who's done really well. I think it's Capellini coming on. No, it can't be Capellini. Well, it might well be 17, yes, Massimiliano Capellini, who's just 17 years old. Played, incidentally, just a couple of years ago for the schoolboys against England here. Slotting into the position up front alongside Marco van Basten. And here he is. Wolfhardt. Augenthaler. Swept a lovely ball out there on the right to Reuter. Massaro. Donadoni. Massaro away towards Van Basten. This is Flick now for Bayern Munich. Lovely skills there, under a lot of pressure, and then finds Nachwey. Wegmann. Reuter. Trying to release Flick on the far side. Kurt has gone with him, wins the ball, but unfairly. It'll be a free kick to Bayern Munich with 10 minutes of the game now left. Brought Augenthaler forwards. They've got quite a few forward now, Bayern Munich. 2, 4, 6, 7 of them in the box. As Nachwey takes this free kick, but Donadoni much too close to the kick. It'll have to be taken again. Interesting notice on the scoreboard I've just seen. It says the AC Milan coach states that regardless of the result today, Ruud Gullit will play tomorrow. So there's a notice on the scoreboard that will delight us all.
That is good news, Brian, because the people who turned up today were expecting Gullit to be playing, and obviously they were disappointed with that. But tomorrow, the great man will be on display.
Kept it in well for Bayern Munich. Cross coming in, Baresi there to stop it. Oh, good break on here now. Just look how far that Alman came out. Did a Grobbelaar there. It's the substitute Massaro. And Mitchell is given a free kick. It's Bayern Munich in possession. Flick. Nachwey. Flick again. Shot is well off the target there by Reuter. Ruud Gullit, you can see there with a Dutch radio commentator, and the scoreboard telling us that he will be playing tomorrow. Incredible character. He speaks some 5 languages. And I suppose in a way Ian must be just about the most recognisable face in sport probably at the moment.
I would think now he's taken over from Maradona in that respect. And, I mean, wherever he would go in the world now, if a picture, appeared in the newspaper around the world, people would know it was Ruud Gullit.
He was at a press conference yesterday, and I think he probably suspected that he would need to give about 30 interviews afterwards, and he did. He got out with a speed that would have done a credit to Ben Johnson, I think, and then went down to a record store in the West End and was mobbed by fans there. So there's no rest for a man like Ruud Gullit. This is Kürgel now for Bayern Munich. They're looking much better in these later stages, but that was well taken by Galli. This is Grahammer. Milan still leading by a goal to 0 with about 7.5 minutes left now. Free kick to Milan. Galli with the clearance. Augenthaler. Clash there with youngster Cappellini. Free kick. Donadoni letting Rijkaard take it up. Milan looking for the second goal that will clinch it for them, but again, Capellini caught offside. No doubt that both these sides, when they play against Spurs and Arsenal tomorrow, will find a far greater physical challenge, and the pace will be much hotter for them. A test of a different sort, and a spectacle of a different sort, as Rijkaard takes it up, tries to get Capellini, but in fact it's Colombo with Van Basten in the middle for him. Capellini also, and Basten on the far side, and headed away by Nakvai. The lad from East Germany who came across to the west and has made quite a career for himself as a right back there with Bayern Munich. Now 31 years old. Giving away the corner, which Donadoni will take for AC Milan, with just 5 minutes of the game left now. Played short to no effect, because Reuter has a chance of getting it away. Handball by Donadoni. Just 1 goal in this game. They're scored after 32 minutes by Verdis for AC Milan, who was substituted at half-time. That's how we stand then, with a little under 5 minutes remaining. Augenthaler for Bayern Munich. Not quite sure what that was meant to be, but it's safe in the arms of Gary.
I think it was meant to just be a ball over the back of the defenders there, and they just got too much on it.
Capellini, Colombo, again Van Basten waiting in the middle. Nakvai away. Bofat's away on the right. Veigman through the middle. Bofat's easily stopped by Costa Curta. And here's Baresi. Touched by him to Rijkaard. On this side is Colombo. Oh. Flick to Grahammer. Veigman up there, beaten by Mussi. Eck. And Flugler couldn't make anything of it. Baresi's challenge was too strong, and his pass is a good one as he finds Van Basten. On his way now, Capellini waiting in the middle. Van Basten's pace was matched by that of Reuter. And it'll be a corner to AC Milan. Donadoni, take it. Van Basten getting in, but not able to get a direct header. Not really the spectacle we wanted, Ian. There's no mistake about that. But I think, to be honest with you, when Spurs and Arsenal get in on the scene against these two sides tomorrow, that might be quite a mouth-watering prospect.
Well, it will certainly be a different prospect for the fans here, because having their own players playing will certainly gee up the atmosphere, and that's what's missing, Brian. You know, you really can't ask for atmosphere when you know you don't have the involvement with the two clubs that are playing. And the fans are just sitting watching the game in silence, and it doesn't make for a game. I mean, if their own fans were here, I'm sure they'd all be shouting and the excitement would be high, and that also gees the players up. You know, the players need to get a response from the crowd, and when it's quiet like this, it's just like a practice match.
Well, here's Rijkaard. Gets the ball inside for Van Basten. And Donadoni trying to come in on the far side. It was the flick away there by Flugler. Saved by Munich. It'll be a corner then to the Italians. On my watch, a little over a minute remaining. Rijkaard's header well wide. Inside the last minute now. Kirkle. It's a delightful ball there through to Flick. He was injured just a moment ago. Reuters behind him. Reuters cross. Flugler right in there, and almost casually there, Galley picks the ball out. But what a good throw to Van Basten. Now things might open up for AC Milan in these last seconds of the game. Are we going to get some Van Basten magic? There's the turn. Are we going to get some Van Basten magic? Oh no! His first ever appearance at Wembley, and he had it because he made it himself. A golden opportunity to provide us with a memorable last moment. And look at this. You would not have believed it.
You would not have mortgaged your house on that one, would you, eh? I mean, I've seen it all now. I mean, how he got there was fantastic. I mean, it was brilliant football to get there. And that miss, I mean, you wouldn't see lads in Parks football tomorrow morning doing that.
When you think also, Ian, 7 weeks ago, what a stunning goal he scored from an absolutely impossible angle with a volley, which was almost impossible. I mean, that was child's play by comparison. So
it just proved, Brian, you know, even the greatest can miss that.
he's human after all. Free kick to Bayern Munich. Of course, with only one goal in it, it's not up yet. Although we've now playing time added on. Kirkle. The whistle had gone before that volley was struck, and it means that AC Milan are the winners by 1-0. The winners here play the losers of the first match, Spurs, and so Arsenal will play Bayern Munich in the doubleheader tomorrow. Final score then here, the goal by Verdis after 32 minutes, giving AC Milan a victory by 1-0 over Bayern Munich.